I've been interested in Ecomi, the the brand, the VV app, and I went out and bought some OMI a couple weeks ago. And I've been kind of watching the market kind of go up, down, doing this little healthy curve thing going on, and teacup, kettle, skyrocket. Hopefully, don't know. But here's the thing: I bought some. I can't say it's like a super substantial amount, but I put some coin towards it. Coin to get some coin. That's how you risk and get rewarded. Uh, I could have got in a lot cheaper, but on the 13th of March, 2021, I was like, dang, this non fungible token thing. Gonna check it out. Seeing these prices, and I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of just need to get my head around it. I've loved blockchain. Blockchain, the technology behind it has taken a while for people to even kind of get the clue of like, okay, this is what it can be for. It had this value, associated with the Bitcoin, and not really having a useful the tokenomics wasn't there like what we have now today to where all these little a lot of them I had to say like a little shit coins, but what they're doing is they're taking these profiles and the kind of the structure of what's going on. It would be like, go buy houses, do whatever else, blah blah blah, and you're following all this, and then like the stock market crash, or the whole bubble crashes in the real estate, and you're like, no. So there's a lot of things in this stuff to where I'm like, I'm not a financial advisor. You might just we all might go broke if a bubble pops and we say, oh no, there's no bubble, it's going to keep on going. The thing is, bubbles happen in these little shitcoin things. But this one, I don't really feel like it stinks. It has a lot of good things going on. It has actual licensing, and it has some good things. The the uh, the thing that I kind of like about it is that it's going to be on Uniswap soon. Yeah, like Uniswap. It's crap, 2 days, almost 2 days away. It's less than 3 days. It was like right at 3 days at noon. It's not now, but it's going to go on a Uniswap, and you got Ghostbusters, you have like Powerpuff Girls. They're holding the gambit. But I guess what I'm getting to is that the price point and everything that it's going at, there's a lot of like adults getting into all kinds of collectibles in the last year. YouTubers with their Pokemon and stuff like that. My kid, she's interested in Pokemon. I'm like interested in Pokemon kind of too, because I'm seeing like foily cards, holograms, shinies, all these different sorts of things. But then your Charizards, they're, if you happen to get that bonus card in there, it's expensive. So I'm looking at these physical things, and on even the Pokemon cards, they give you this little like QR code thing. You can either do it the QR code or put in the code, I think, and then you have your online uh, stuff. And the reason why I'm talking about Pokemon is because everybody says Pokemon, 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 and there's nothing out there. Nobody like that. Even if it is, they're keeping it under the wraps. They're trying to tell people, no, we don't have it. But why I think everybody's making this connection with Pokemon and VV and stuff like that, and the licensing, is that they see this connection that uh, Pokemon and these trading card games that are actually physical are now going into the digital space. But also, Pokemon Go, you play that and you whip out your phone. They already have AR in it. It's just like a one step out of just going, well, we already have all this AR for our Snorlaxes and all of our other different Pokemon in the Pokesphere, in the Pokédex. Like you get these different Kanto regions, all these different regions that go on. I'm not super savvy on bit on Pokemon, but I'm trying to get savvy on cryptocurrencies and all these different tokens and the real things behind actual products. And I feel like that's the thing that's going to be coming out in 2021 is that I had these other little games I'm messing with. I might, make a video about the game if it starts taking off more. And I just feel like it's like, you're kind of getting these non-fungible tokens and you're getting things in games. And this is where I'm getting really excited is with like VV is that it's the marketplace. The marketplace, just like Uniswap, but these chains are going to be able to handle the fungible tokens to where that they can be swapped around. You have these marketplaces now that are in a safe place for people that are, I don't want to say like retail, but like people that are so easy. And what I mean by easy is that like they can go and pick this app up, they can get the jewels, they can get the product. For me right now, and this is why I made the video, is that I picked up an OMI, and the OMI is doing good in price, and I'm like, all right, cool, I want to put it to my MetaMask. I know I can get it to the MetaMask. I set up the Go chain. I know it's cheap to send it. And then when I'm sending it out a bit Forex, it's like, oh yeah, one OMI, like that's super cheap. All right, cool. But once I get it to my MetaMask, just the first little initial amount that I sent, because you have to like send over like 4,000 or somewhere around there. And so I was like, okay, I'll send like a little bit over 4,000. That will make a good thing, or over 3,000. A certain minimum amount, but I send it over. But now I'm like, oh dang, I can't send it out because I don't have any Go coins. Because it's part of the Go network. It'd be like sending ETH for your gas. It's kind of like a little gas, but it's a little bit. It's like you just need it. It'd be like, I guess, like a liquidity pool coins where they add a little bit of your liquidity pool. This one, it just takes away, and it's there for your fuel. This brings me to this, is that like everybody's been saying Uniswap, and I've been wondering about Uniswap because it's it's a cool thing that's going on. But what gets me is that it's going to be the price of gas. I guess you're paying the premium for the decentralized trading protocol. And, it's guaranteed liquidity for millions of users, hundreds of Ethereum applications use Uniswap. And then you have the documentation. But, it's a growing protocol. And I think it's really great. The other protocol that's a good swapping protocol that I'm looking into right now is on the Binance Smart Chain. Is this Pancake Swap. That looks interesting, and the reason why it interests me more than the Uniswap is just the price. So here's the thing: is that we got these little small like 1 cent tokens. Now they're going to be on like how much are we going to get dinged, to just swap these tokens? So I'm kind of looking at it more like this way, like until I see it and then I can see how much the prices are, how much the swap is it really worth it to do the Tony, or is it worth it at a big amounts of OMI? I guess the biggest thing for me is just the speculation of just the price of OMI going up for me that's holding it already. But where my next question comes into is the liquidity pools. For all these people that are holding the OMI right now, I'm not really sure about advice or anything else like that. But, the liquidity pools and stuff are great, I guess, but I don't know. Because there's not enough information out there on YouTube right now. They'll tell you how to put the liquidity pools in. They'll put stuff in and out. They'll kind of tell you how much they made, but not really how much they do. Is it really good on little coins that are coming out in the new market? And that's what I'm interested in. So this is kind of my first video, and I'm trying to kind of do the video editing and everything on the fly, and maybe try to do some different editing later on. But I wouldn't just put out something to say, hey, I'm interested in this, I'm going to be following it, Um, but I'm more interested in like making money with your money kind of type thing. You already have a holding, and you maybe have holdings of other stuff, and you have enough money to boom put it into that pair, and now that with that pair, you're going to start making a percentage off of that, off of the liquidity of you're being able to hold that out there. And then there's other staking and stuff like that. And I don't really feel like Okomi is going to come that far, but at a certain point, like I like it for the fact that um, I just like it for the fact that like you can trade these things out later on, and you could have these. There's different ways you could do it out fiat, or if your Okomi ends up gaining like a value more than that you've invested in originally, like a year from now, if some cool drop comes out, it's gonna cost you like pennies on the dollar, hopefully, you know, and then you don't really have to worry about that. But that always asks, gets me another question: is that like I don't know, like taxes? You know, they always have like that's a capital gains expense. This is a capital gains expense. But I'm kind of like, okay, if you bought like your Komi, you bought into a Komi, but you didn't buy in through like jewels, but you bought in through a trade, and then you actually traded your stuff for, that ended up gaining value, but then you bought something that had a value, and then you had an increased value on that value plus more value, and I'm just like, I don't know, but I have all these questions, and I feel like these questions can be answered if I just keep on diving deeper, and other people give me kind of some of the answers too. It's like, I'm just not out here to learn myself. I'm out here to teach and to kind of entertain and get you guys up on new stuff. So OMI is cheap, 1 cent. It's going up. A cool drops. There's a lot of information about OMI, and the Komi, and the VB app. But I want to like focus more on like the back end of all this, all the finance, the definance, centralized finance, like VPNs, the Binance Spark chain. Are these pump and dumps? What's pumping and dumping? What's not pumping and dumping? What's really a good coin and what is a crap coin? What's not? And then maybe go into some stocks and stuff that I'm following, and try to kind of do more of this research of all these different companies that are either in the back end of blockchain, that are investing in some kind of technology. Microprocessors are kind of a thing that I'm looking at. Silicon production, and where does that silicon go for the chip manufacturers, from the or solar? Is it going to green energy? Is it going there? There's this chip shortage right now. All these different things, but with the shortages, we're having this huge boom in technology, and using these ideas to harness different products, but also give authenticity to what you're actually having. Not just going, oh yeah, here I have this, but you could follow the chain along. You could, just to keep everybody honest. You could, trade now your like game or your Nintendo game and give it to somebody else and give it to somebody else, and you could keep that trend, that thing going. I look at it like a Carfax. It'd be good to know that like every car that you bought comes with a Carfax, but like now every car that you buy may have like like a token with that. Shit, you could probably buy a car and get one of these things, like your DeLorean or something. It'd be kind of cool. You never know. You have these big manufacturers like GM or whatnot, Ford, Honda. They get behind it, just want to like maybe you put out cars out there, maybe they're prototypes, and you actually buy those prototypes that they never release like in the real world, but you got these prototypes that are in this app. And the biggest thing that I have to say about all this is, to wrap it up, is that why I'm super interested in this is I've always had games like, say, World of Warcraft. You put a lot of hours into something, and say, yeah, you could do raids, you could do things to earn different things. You get like super rares, you get this, but that. But like once you're done with that game, like I played that game a long time ago, and there's a lot of cool memories I have and all these things, but I don't physically. I can't use them in any other game. I can't even just like hang them out on a like a rack, virtual rack of stuff that I've like earned, or a trophy case. And in the case of Akomi, so they have like the virtual showroom, and that's where I'm like, oh crap, it'd be cool to like, even if like World of Warcraft would get in on this and mint old school stuff. And not really say to go backwards on stuff, but like the idea is there, and I feel like there's so much that can go to it, because instead of just giving money to a kid that plays Roblox, and Roblox is a good thing. I bought into their stock, but it's like I'm giving my kid into the Roblox, and they're buying like little animals at a pet shop or whatever else, and they're having these special things that like you might get on Fortnite and all these other games where you're buying in with like virtual cash, but you don't really have cash. It's not, you just spend it, you get it, and the company's like, thanks for the money, and they've taken it from you, and it's just gone. Like you get this thing that's like there in the game, and a lot of times, like say on World of Warcraft, you'd have this badass thing, and nobody would notice. The graphics weren't good enough. The graphics today are getting so good that, yeah, but even on Fortnite, you're like, what the hell is that? Like, oh, I can see the target on his cast iron thing. That's great, but he paid like 10-20 bucks for that on a lottery thing and whatever. And it's like you start putting the value into things that you don't really get to keep around. So this is getting long, but like, holy crap, there's so much value in it to me, because if you get the stuff. But I see the big part of it right now is it's not growing to kids at the moment. All the big kids are putting like $50 on it, and that's where I'm looking at the value in the OMI right now, is that all the big kids are putting huge amounts of money. People that are my age, younger, older, they just into collectibles. They'll put all kinds of money into it, and that's what I'm scared, but in a good way, that it's going to go up. But I'm scared that there's all these other ones out there, like the Chili's or whatever. They have these different contracts, but this one seems to be more in like the card game, like in this, already in this niche. It's not the sport. It's not like baseball cards. Baseball cards is a whole different game, a whole different thing that I grew up with. But then Magic the Gathering and Pokemon came in, and it was a whole different setup. So, holy crap. I think it, I like it to moon. I don't know. I'm just getting excited here. I'll let you guys go on the next one, all right? I'll see you on the flip side.